Okay, we're going to talk to Sir Byrne, or Sir Bernay, and he's going to take us on a small training mission. So we're just doing this for experience. This is completely optional. So he wants us to get those crates, and he wants us to take them over to this designated circle here. Then we will fight scarecrows. Blue scarecrows will be weak to magic damage. Red scarecrows will be weak to physical damage. And that's why we have multiple types. Two magic users and two physical attackers. All done. Okay, next we're attacking scarecrows. See how I'm doing next to nothing? So I could run over, and my heavy attack just swings, so that counts as a physical. Okay. Readying a fire spell. I don't... Yep, and the rest are physical. Okay, level 6 already. So we're going to do one thing before story progression. In order to progress the story, you're going to see Mercedes. You'll see her walking around, Green Arrow. We're going to go back to Cassardus, and we're going to go find a girl named Madeline in the inn, and we're going to escort her here, so she'll become a merchant in the capital city in a minute. There'll be a cutscene as well when we go back, and then there should be a new quest by a knight standing by the well. You should see a purple mark down in the bottom left of my screen. That is the DLC entrance. Once we escort, we're going to watch the cutscene, accept Pole's quest, bring the merchant over here, and then we're going to go access the DLC and do Pole's quest, and then we'll come back to this encampment, and we will progress with the story. So orange bar's your stamina, watch out for that. If it depletes, you just kind of hunch over and wheeze like a goof until somebody picks you up. But as you can see, it's getting to be nighttime. You do not want to travel at night. Okay, here is Paul. He says he hid in the well where the dragon attacked and he heard growls down there. So we should check it out. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's go. Don't forget, we have Benita's first set of flowers, but we're going to get her second set too before we turn that in. Okay, here we go. As you can see, she's got a little missing health, and Rook is a medicant, and he's prioritizing healing. So she's just going to stop and pick up every little thing. So if you hear her talk, just stop and wait. She'll come back to you, and we're just taking her to the encampment. Main quest, I will be letting the dialogue play. Side quest, I'm just going to be skipping through dialogue. Goblins like to have bonfire parties around here at night, so if you see a fire, you're usually going to find goblins. And as you can see, there's goblins sneaking up on us. Oh, they already killed it. There's a loot sack sitting right there. Large nut, not bad. Okay, let's just continue. I'm not going to attack them if they don't attack me. She'll catch up in a second. Can't see it from here, but there's going to be a bonfire down there. Okay, let's get to the encampment. Yeah. So she's going to ask you for 1,000 gold to set up her shop. Just go ahead and give it to her. 1,000 gold is nothing in this game. She has baleful nails as accessories. I recommend buying that. And yes, I recommend equipping it. Merchant stocks do restock within 7 days. So sold out, that'll restock in 7 days. Okay, we're going to go back to Castardus now. As you can see, the stars are now out. So the flower that she's looking for only blooms by night, so it is night. So we're going to pick that up along the way. Use your lantern. It will get so dark you can't see in front of your face. There's a bonfire. You can see a bunch of goblins just kind of dancing like goofs. Just celebrating. That's a special flower, and we have it. So you'll want to keep oil on hand because your lanterns will consume oil. It takes probably about 48 minutes of continuous lantern use for oil, and that's about 1 day cycle for an in-game day. So you can see goblins are now on the road. Yep, some small fry. That's that spell that the ring gave us that we picked up at the beginning. Okay. So the reason we picked up the pickaxe is because there's ore deposits in the game, and you can either sell them for money or you could use them as upgrade materials. Generally what I do is I loot everything in sight. What I can't use immediately after a mission, I sell it. That way I never run out of money. I can constantly upgrade my gear. Okay, we're going to turn in the flower quest right now. That is the entrance to the DLC. We will go there shortly. We are not going to do the DLC until endgame. We might not do it at all. I'm still deciding on that. But we will see. Okay, first flower. Second flower. She's going to give us some medicine. Level 7. Vocation rank you may have seen in the upper right hand corner. What that does is it unlocks more augments and passive skills for us and abilities we can use. Okay, we're going to talk to her to go to the DLC. There's a few treasures around here. Some up there even. Even on the pillars. Some up there. So I'm just going to open this one because it's on the ground. Time passes much slower here. So much in fact that you have to rest about 24 times to advance one in-game day. This resting bench is a free use inn. This is Ulra. She's an all-in-one NPC. She can purify cursed items. She can change your vocation and equip skills. She can manage your inventory, and she can send us back to Cassardus. And we're going back to Cassardus now. So we're not going to do the DLC right now. We came here to get it unlocked, because once we have the ability for fast travel, we can travel here and free rest and free storage, free vocations. You can go into the DLC and break the game immediately if you want, but I'm going to play it normal. I mean, I've done that before, but it takes a lot of the challenge out of the game. So I am going to do Pole's quest next. Okay, so we're going to go down the well and we are going to do Pole's quest. Here is usually a oil pot that you can take oil if you have an empty flask. Fish are down here. Usually there's empty flask. Mushrooms are down here. Mushrooms are good. They're a stamina consumable that never deteriorates over time. There's some bats this way. Bats have a chance to drop large nuts, which are good for crafting. Scrag of Beast, they also drop a stamina item. Okay, so here's some treasure down here. Large net, perfect. There's also loot inside boxes. Not every single one, but most of them. This path just loops around. As you can hear, there's a treasure chest down there. Okay, so this loops around to the starting area. So we'll take the left path again, but we won't drop down this time. Skulls can inflict curse. You throw them to use them. We completed another notice board quest. Just because an item is rotten does not mean it is useless. Flaminka is a really rare, and we got really lucky on that. It's a really rare pickup from bags around Grand Soren, but you can use that to make throw blast and blast arrows. As you can see, these guys are a bit resistant to fire. Okay, remember, don't loot in battle or it could ruin your pawn. So you can see I can't do much, but my throw blast can. As soon as he stands up, we're gonna get him. There you go. That's one down. Okay, you kind of see one jumped off the wall. Gotta kind of watch for that sometimes. Do they? I don't think they do. As you can see, it comically launches enemies in the air. Smaller ones. Okay, we're gonna do some looting. Got an ore deposit in here. Okay, there's a little bit of treasures in here. These are armor and weapon piles. You can get rusted weapons, sometimes unrusted stuff. I got my first spell bow from that. Heartspud juice is good. Heartspud sauce is good. Heartspud milk is okay to use. Save the juice and the sauce. Okay, there we got some daggers. Rusted daggers, or rusted weapons in general, have the weakest damage in the game. But once you fully upgrade them, they have a status effect called torpor. And what that is it is a status ailment like slow. So enemies will slow way down. They'll start going slow motion for a short time, making them really open for attacks. Say you slow an enemy and then you just all gang up on it, it will take quite a while to react. It'll get hurt, and then it'll it'll do the ouch I got hurt animation, and then it'll be locked in that for a good amount of time, and then you can just deal massive damage out, especially if you have high damage weapons. Your pawns always destroy stuff. Got a whole bunch of snakes here. Should be one more. Okay, you can break the door from this side. This leads us out into a bandit cave, a thief den. Usually they're home, sometimes they're not. Okay, they're just going to come home and have no loot. So we got hard spud milk. That I'm not going to worry about. Poison flask. You can throw those at enemies to inflict poison, or you can use them to make poison arrows. Those stagnant shrooms, you can extract poison from them to make poison flask. I find that the stagnant shrooms sell for more gold than the poison flask itself, though. So if we go out here, we're going to go out into the open world again, just past the encampment. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a map. Okay, so here is the cave. There's the encampment. There's Cassardus. So we're going to go back through the cave because it's nighttime. And it's safer that way. The bats and the rats will probably respawn. They respawn fairly quickly. The snakes might as well. But other than that, all the big enemies should be cleared out. So watch your stamina. So you can see these guys have poison. So I'm going to give Emma a Mithridate, and I'm going to give Claudia a Mithridate. And you're going to see them use it, and their poison's gone. Basically, if you give pawns healing items, they're very wasteful sometimes. So you want to watch out for that. Okay, so the rats are back. Not gonna complain about that. I got more stamina items. I got large nuts. Not gonna worry about killing the rats. They're usually pretty passive. Okay, so we're going to report back to Pole. We're level 9. Not bad at all. As you can see, nighttime is starting to lift. Okay, so I'm turning off this lantern because I can still see. And we're going to head back to the encampment. Nighttime may actually be falling. Okay, so we're just going to run for the encampment. Giving breaks for stamina to regenerate. Okay, night was lifting. Here's the sun. Okay, so I'm going to go over one thing real quick. There's Mercedes. Okay, so a giant monster is going to spawn over here. So what we can do is we can pick these up, and we can go throw them at them. I'm going to unload some of my extra stuff real quick. So I'm going to put anything in here that is a item that can rot. That's a good practice. So anything like meat and berries and fruit. So plants, they're fine. Except a specific one. Potions are fine. Nuts are okay. Mushrooms are fine. Potions are fine. Skulls I don't use. Poison flask I don't use. Rocks I don't use. I don't use throwing knives. Flask of water I'm not going to need. Airtight flask I'll keep. Empty flask I'll keep. I'm going to put one lantern into storage. These are all upgrade materials and combinable materials. Weapon I'm not going to use. I like to deposit all my armor. So you may ask yourself too, what happens if my pawns are carrying items and they die? Well, your main pawn will keep the items on them until you resummon them, and the pawns that you have hired, they will send all your items to storage. Okay, so I can now hit change equipment, and from here I can look and see if I have anything better. And what this does is it doesn't add it to my inventory unless I equip it. So if I want to say, okay, give her the tiara, now she's got that. Which one's better? Looks like that one is. Okay, rings. She's a fighter, so swordsman ring will do great. Okay, so now we can learn our skills. As you can see, I have a whole bunch of different skills now. So, Frazzle is ice, Leaven is lightning, Halidum cures poison, torpor, silence, and caught fire and frozen, as well as I have elemental boons I can send to my people. So I'm going to pick up Leaven, and I'm going to pick up High Leaven, and I'm going to pick up High Angle. Frazzle is kind of okay, but it's kind of like a mist shoots out, like a water mist, and it's not really that helpful. As you can see, I now have a core skill Levitate, so if I jump and hold it, then I can fly across gaps. Amplifies our magic when we're at low health. Reduces damage when you are debilitated with the 5 arch magics. My pawn, so she has fitness, halves the stamina when you lift objects or grapple people, and extends your health, always a plus. Okay, so she's going to be climbing and fighting. So deflect, deflects your attack back. Controlled fall, takedowns, these are passive skills they'll use on their own, you don't have to equip those ones. Shield strikes, these are shield skills, these are sword skills. I don't have that much discipline, so I'm going to change my skills. Be sure to equip them. Okay, so I'm going to put some augments on there, and high 11. And I don't think I have any augments. Now, I would normally say rest, but Mercedes is right here, and she's going to make us rest to trigger the next quest. So go ahead and rest. Big ol' snake. Big ol' snakes? Nope, it's a Hydra. If you use fire attacks on the head, it will kind of cauterize them, and so they won't grow back. So you can either do this the long way, you can run down here and grab a barrel, so one thing to note here is it can eat your pawns. So if it eats your pawns and swallows it, they can disappear to the rifts. I'm gonna let them do their thing. I guess I am out of stamina from holding a barrel. You see Rook dead? Come on down, snickety snake. As you can see, it's eating a soldier, which it happens to do very well. So, remember what I said, if you're having trouble with an enemy, throw blast. Don't know why he's mad at me. He attacked me. Bad, snake, bad.
Judgment, swift footwork. Impressive, truly, in any case. The Duke will want to know of this attack. I'd hoped to gather a larger force before we become capital. The Hydra's head and the Arisen who claimed it make up the defense army. I cannot say with the person. Nor need to start. It will be slow going with your part. I dare say you will have no trouble catching up. We'll meet at the Way Castle. Till then, I bid you rest well. is a long road ahead. What's doing this quest?
What a gap.
What's this?
Okay, so we will join her on the road and escort the head to the capital. So that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you liked what you saw today. I hope it entertained you. Thank you so much for your time. Please like, share, subscribe, and as always, we will catch you next time. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.